Question, my dear friends, how you noticate zometing strange? We humans are perhaps the only species on this planet that wakes up in the morning and says, questions. What if zometing goes wrong tomorrow? Have you ever seen a cow worried, more milk it will give a tomorrow? Questions. Or a bird sitting on a branch checking its bank balance in case worms run out tomorrow? A pause for laughter but we humans, or we are champions of worrying about future that hast even come yet. Tomorrow is illusion, my dear friends, let us reflect for a moment. Sions. Often have we caught ourselves sitting in the comfort of our homes, zipping tear or scrolling our phones. And suddenly women takes usinto a plaque that doesn't even exist yet. We start thinking of what will happen tomorrow. Questions. What if don't get that project? What if my helper tomorrow is bad? Sions. What if tomorrow brings a problem I can't handle and will nothing has actually happened? Our head starts racking. Sions. Our stomach fails uneasy and our mind gets restless. Instead interesting. Sions. Something that has not even arrived yet has the power to disturb our present moment. This quest is the magico rata, the illusion of tomorrow. Tomorrow does not exist right now. It is simply a thought, an imagination, questions, a projection of our anxious mind. It's like a movie trailer. When you watch a trailer, you don't know the full story. But you min creates al kinds of assumptions. Some people watch a thriller trailer and say, but this hero will surely die in the end. Others say, no, he'll be saved. But until the movie is realized, nobody knows the truth. Tomorrow is exactly like that trailer, it has not yet realized. But we are busy creating stories, often negative ones. And start worrying about scenes that may not even be part of the final film. Let's take a simple daily life example. A student has an exam tomorrow. Instead of studying today with focus, the student keeps worrying. What if forget everything tomorrow? What the questions are took? What if he fail in that anxiety? Questions. The student cannot concentrate today, cannot study well, and goes what? Tomorrow's exam become difficult because today was state in worry. Questions. Worrying about tomorrow's papa made today's preparation work. The illusion of tomorrow destroyed the reality of today. Consider this. Zomeone has a job interview next week. They sit at home beating their nails. The what if the interviewer asks me something I don't know? What if he get nervous? Questions. What if they don't like me instead of practicing answers, group skills, or preparing calmly? They live in the illusion of a disaster that has not yet happened. And by the time the actual day arrives, they have exhausted themselves mentally and emotionally. This is the cost of living in the illusion of tomorrow. Questions. Now compare this with children. Observe a small child playing with toys. Do you think the child worries? Questions. What if tomorrow we get to play with this toy again? No. The child is fully immersed into this play. Questions. That's why children lauke freely, smile effortlessly and sleep carefully. Their second. Questions. They have not learned to live in tomorrow's illusion. They are masters of living in the north. But as we go further, questions, become time travelers. They keep running to the future, dragging us into situations that don't exist yet. Questions. Tomorrow becomes like a ghost, unreal, but frightening, and sadly in this obsession with the ghost of tomorrow. We sacrifice the gift of today. Think about this. When we sit down to eat a meal, how many of us are actually tasting the food? Most of us are having food, but the mint is having tomorrow. What if there is traffic tomorrow morning? Questions. I can finish my deadliness. What if and the beautiful fall flowers of the fond usko noticate is thought, tragic. The plot is real, the thought is real, but the mint is lost in tomorrow's illusion. One of the wisest science is science. We don't live once, we live every day. We only the once. Yet most of us don't really live every day, cause we spend today worrying about tomorrow. In that sense, we the little day every single day. The truth is, wens tomorrow comes, I won't come as per tomorrow. It will arrive as today. And if we have trained ourselves to live fully today, then when tomorrow comes, we won't live it. We'll push it further. But what about the next tomorrow? I and so life becomes a shine of worries, an endless postponement of you. So what can we learn? The first lesson is acceptance. Acknowledge that tomorrow is an illusion. Stop giving it more power upon it deserves. The second lesson is presence. When you wash dishes, just wash dishes. When you walk, just walk. When you talk to all of it on Jones. Let you mean be where your body is, because in reality, life is happening now. Let me share a light moment. Jones. Aman once kept worrying, what if he told off his friend replied, if you told off, at least today you are alive. Questions. En your tati the man locate, but ten realiteit for study in the mint the very day before the actual day at even arrives. Questions. Tomorrow is like the horizon. You can walk towards it all your life, but you will never reach it, because the horizon doesn't exist as a placket is only an appearance. In the same way, questions. Tomorrow doesn't exist as a reality, only an appearance in our minds. If we keep chasing the illusion of tomorrow, we will never stand still enough to enjoy the beauty of today. So let us decide. Instead of buying prisoners of tomorrow's questions, let's be present in today. When you are with family, be with them, not with your fears of tomorrow. When you are at work, questions. Focus on your efforts, not the imagined failures of tomorrow. When you lie down at night, questions. Sleep carefully, no tossing, turning about at tomorrow that hasn't arrived. Because when tomorrow truly arrives, it will simply be another today. And the best way to prepare for that tomorrow is to live this today fearfully and consciously. That, my friends, is the power of realizing that tomorrow is an illusion. Worry is interest paid in advance, my dear friends. Imagine this for a moment. You walk into a shop, questions, use your item you like. But instead of buying it, you immediately go to the counter and say, Behera, questions. Take my money as interest in kazi, buis omitting from you in the future. The shopkeeper would look at you in disbelief. Questions. Would he, that's exactly what we do when we worry. We are paying emotional interest on events that may never even happen. Questions. Worry is like a lawn taken without even having a purchase in hand. You haven't bought the car. You haven't taken the house. Questions. You haven't even ordered the pizza, but you are already paying the interest. This is what happens when our mind imagines problems that are not real yet. Questions. Worry is like a credit card bill for a shopping spree you never went on. You didn't enjoy anything. Questions. You are paying the week heavily. Think about this in daily life. Apparent worries. Questions. What if my child doesn't get good marks in tomorrow's exam? If the exam hasn't happened yet. The child is still studying, questions preparing, but the parent is already stressed, heart pounding, unable to sleep. And if the child scores well tomorrow, questions. All that worry was for nothing. All that interest paid in advance was a waste. Another example. Suppose you are traveling by flight. Questions. You are sitting at the airport waiting for boarding, and suddenly you think, but what if the plane is delayed? Questions. What if something goes wrong during the flight? If for the next 2 hours you sit there sweating, restless and panicked. Finally, questions. The flight takes off time, lands smoothly, and everything goes well. Now tell me what was all that worry for? I was simply interest paid in advance for a problem that never came. Let me share a funny story. Once, a man used to worry constantly. He worried about money, health, family, job, everything. On a day, his friends asked him very relaxed, questions, zipping therapy, the friend asked, but what happened? You're usually worried, but today you look careful. The man replied, yes, questions. I have here a professional worrier. The friend was shocked, professional worrier. What do you mean? The man said, Ifun zo meone wo wil do alle worrying for me. I pay him, and he worries on my behalf. The vriend laukheid en tasket. Behoeft do you pay him the man replied. $5,000 a maand. The vriend exclaimed. $5,000. Tjons. Behoeft will you afford hard. Ieder man smilet en zeit, but that's his worry. Questions. Not mine, this humorous story, he does our truth most the time. We are worrying about things. Tara not even wo responsibility. Questions. We about the weather, the economy, the politics, even about people might think of us tomorrow. And yet, none of these things are truly in our control. But still, we pay the interest. Jones, worry is not only emotionally draining, is physically exhausting too. Doctors say that excessive worry raises blood pressure. Questions. Disturbs digestion, weakens immunity, and even causes sleeplessness. So not only are we paying interest emotionally, questions, but we are also paying interest physically. Our body pays the prikje for een invisible, non-existent futur. No fleetspauze aan das koerselves. Woelt een y-rationaal persoon pay interest on allo aan they never talk. Woelt een y-banker allow you to start paying installments without recovering the law aan. Of course not. 10. Waardoor we leed urmint bekomen zoeken banken, shagging us endlessly for nothing. A better approach is planning. Questions. Planning is like saving money in advance. But worry is like burning money in advance. Planning's ice. Questions. Let me prepare for tomorrow with clarity and calmness. If worry's ice, let me panic for tomorrow without clarity or calmness. Sions. Ido you say the ferenke. Owner builds, the otter destroys. Suppose you have an important presentation tomorrow. Questions. Plan me on making you leaders, rehearsing your points, hacking your laptop. Worrying me on sitting with you leaders and thinking. Questions. What if the lab crashes? What if the audience just like me? What if you forget my Linus? The laptop hasn't crashed yet. Questions. The audience hasn't arrived yet, and you haven't forgotten anything yet. But your mind is already paying heavy interest. In fact, questions. This interest weakens supermans, because you are even tomorrow already exhausted by tonight's imaginary fears. Questions. Liever bekommen lighter when we understand this simple truth. Worry is optional. The future is ungetein, that is a fact. But worry about it is a koike. Instead of paying interest in advance, we not wait for the actual bill. If our problem really comes tomorrow, then deal with it. We pay double today and tomorrow bot. There is an old saying, worry never robs tomorrow with sorrow, it only robs today with your. It is me even if tomorrow does bring a shallinge. Questions. Worry does prevent it only marks today miserable. So you lose tweak today spare and tomorrow's strength. So my dear friends, the next time your mind begins to worry, ask yourself, but am I paying interest on allo aan I never took? Questions. Am I sweeping my emotional credit card for something even bought? It that awareness itself will bring a smile. Questions. And in that smile, the illusion of worry will waken. Let us learn to distinguish between preparing easily and worrying unnecessarily. Preparation empowers us, worry drains us. Honor is like saving for the future. Questions. The otter is like paying interest endlessly without reason. Cause easily. Questions. And you'll discover that most of life's burden is not on your shoulders, it's only on your mind. Questions. And if the mensch paying unnecessary interest, liever bekommen so much lighter, pay careful and careful. That, my friends, is we worry is nothing but interest paid in advance. Questions. The illusion of control, my dear friends. One of the biggest myths we carry in our minds is this. If we worry about something, I will some of control it. If we think we worrying, we are preparing. We think we replaying scenarios in our hergeinander. Questions. We are preserved from disappointment. But the truth is, worry doesn't give us control, it only gives us fatigue. Questions has its own rhythm, its of love, and willen we influence it with ons, we kan actions we dictate with our anxieties. Let me share a simple example. Imagine you are driving a car. You can't control your steering wheel. You can't control the accelerator. Questions. You can't control the brakes. But can you control the traffic lights? Can you control the reckless driver who suddenly cuts across you? Questions. Can you control the weather tapus rain onto the road? No, and yet, how many of us will driving keep worrying? Or what if there is a Yamaya? What if we get later? Questions. What if so many hits me that mental worry doesn't change the traffic, it only changes your payaka? Questions. The illusion of troll tricks us into believing that if we think about a very possible danger, we can prevent it. But in reality, questions, always zoeken in doing is exhausting urmint. Another example, amotas en teenage zone to collega. The moment he leaves. Questions, she starts worrying, but will he yard properly? Will he make good friends? Will he stay safe? Questions. Will he study well? No, tell me honestly, does he worry control his in collega? No, worry cannot change his guilt filter his friends, cannot hold his pain during the exam. Alit kan do is taka aber he on he and peka kaat home. Jones, lohint the worry is natural, but the illusion is thinking that her anxiety zone of controls his destiny. Questions. It's like holding sand in your hand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. Control works the same way. Questions. The more we try to control everything with urmint, the more frustrated we become. Questions. Because the life has its own ways of taking us lessons. The weather doesn't ask us, the stock market does consult us. Questions. Even nobody's ometimus does obey us. Haven't you experienced this? You plan a vacation, but you found sick at the last minute. You plan a picnic, but it rains. You plan a career, but the company shoots down. Question. Liever has its script, and it rarely matches us. Teres about evil sein, woman proposes, God disposes. If we can't make our plans, but the final outcome is never fully in our hands. The Bhagavad Gita also remains to start we have a right to perform our duties. Questions. But we are not late to control the results. Yet most of our worry comes from trying to do exactly that control the result. Let me share a story. There was a farmer who planted seeds in his field. Every day he watered the soil. Maar the field was protected and did everything possible to nurture the crop. But then he began to worry. What if it doesn't rain? What if pests come? What if the harvest fails? Every day he checked the soil, counted the seeds, question on the field. He snaked notified and loud saying, my friend, saying you have done your duty. No fled the rain, the sun, and time do theirs. You cannot pull the crop out of the soil with your worry. This is exactly our situation. Thus, we plan sets of action, but then instead of trusting the process, we keep pulling at the soil with our anxious minds. Scrution of control shows up everywhere in our work, relationships, health, even our future. Questions. A manager worrieslessly about his team will perform. But does his late night worry improve their work? Questions. A husband worries about his marriage will always remain perfect. But does his constant fear prevent disagreements? A young worries about the job market 5 years from now. But does this change economy? No. In every case, questions, the illusion of control robs today's energy without securing tomorrow's result. What truly gives us peace is focusing on what we can control efforts. Ukoikes responses and letting go of what we cannot. If we plant a tree, can water it, give it sunlight, protect it from pests. But whether it bears fruit in 5 years or 10. Questions. Whether it grows tall or short, that is beyond me. My role is action, not obsession. Have you noticed? So the most stressful people are to try to control everything people. Situations, outcomes, questions, and some of the happiest people are those who trust the flow, who do their best and then surrender the rest. Questions. They understand that control is limited and they live lightly. Let's imagine for a moment that life is like sailing a boat. You can't control how you row, you can't control the direction of your sail, but you cannot control the wind or the waves. Questions. If you fight the wind, you will only tear yourself. But if you adjust your sails and go with it, you move ahead with less effort. Sions. Worry is like fighting wind, pointless and draining. Wisdom is like adjusting the sails, practical and pay careful. My dear friends. Questions. The next time you feel anxious, remind yourself. But this is just the illusion of control. Questions. Instead of trying to mentally grip the future, just ask, but what can enough, and once you do that, lately for take care of the rest. Trust with the bigger design. If things are meant to happen, they will, and if not, so meting else will unfold maybe so meting better. So meting hidden form or limited vision. Remember this, life is not in our control, but our attitude towards life always is. And that attitude of trust, fight and surrender transforms our uniform honor of anxiety to honor of patience. That is why worry is nothing but the illusion of control, and letting go is the beginning of freedom. Focus on efforts, not to comes, my dear friends. Post questions. So moch ur worry comes from on a simple mistake we spent to moch ur energy trying to control the fruitions instead of dedicating our hair to the action. We kept staring at the scoreboard, but forgot to play the game. We kept obsessing about the harvest, but forgot to sow and water the seeds properly. This is why life feels so heavy. Questions. Because we are carrying a burden that was never to carry the burden of results. The Behagavat gives us a timeless wisdom. Questions. You have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are no entitled to the fruits of action. What a powerful teaching. Questions. Krishna did not say, don't work hard. He did not say, but don't put in your best. He only said, but don't cling to the result. Questions. Because outcomes are never fully in our control. They depend on many factors, time, plaque, people, circumstances, and so many share destiny. But efforts, those are always in our control. Take an example from a student's life. Questions. Are you preparing for an exam? Not if he spends his entire study time worrying, but what if the paper is too hard? What if he don't score well? What if he don't get to the colleague event? All this anxiety adds up his focus. His attention is not on the book, but on the general future. What happens then? His preparation suffers, his confidence weakens, and ironically, his results are affected. But if he instead focuses his effort reading with concentration, revising sincerely, managing his time wisely, then no matter what the outcome, he gains strength and growth. And most often, focus naturally leads to better results. Let's step into the world of sports. Imagine a cricketer on the field. If he keeps worrying, or what if get out on the first ball? What if the craft boss may? Questions. What if he don't mark runs he's already had half day at it before even facking the bowler? Questions. But the best athletes in the world play with a different mindset. They say it may focus on this ball. Let me play my shot well. Questions. Let me give my 100% this moment. That's why they shine not they never fail, but because their mint is in their thought, not trap it in the fear of outcomes. There is a story of two farmers. Bob planted seeds. The first farmer planted them, but every day he dug up the soil to see if the seeds had sprouted. His constant worry ruined the process. The second farmer planted the seeds, watered them daily, and trusted the process. He focused on his effort, not on staring at the soil in anxiety. In the end, his field was green and abundant, while the first farmer was left with nothing. The moral is simpler. If you do your part sincerely, life will take care of its part in time. This lesson also applies to relationships. Many teams. Questions. People enter into relationships with an outcome in mentally, want this person to always love me, never hurt me, always fulfill my expectations. But can we control another person's heart completely? No. Questions. And when the outcome doesn't match our imagination, we feel disappointed. The visa way is to focus on our effort to begin. Questions. To give a respect to care. Wete de relation si blossoms o notis not always in uw hands. But when uw effort is pure questions, we have nothing to regret. The same principle holds true at work. Employees sometimes keep worrying about promotions, bonuses, questions, and recognition. The means are consumed by the komme. But in this constant worry, their work becomes mechanical and useless. Questions. On the other hand, so meone wo puts the head into the work learning, growing, serving zinkere usually ins opschining. Jones, even if promotions take a time, they still grow fast as a person and opportunities eventually come. Because the life always honos zinkere effort, even if the result does appear immediately. No flates be honest, focusing only on effort is not easy. Women is trying to look for results. Our shell studies and parents immediately ask ons, what marks did you get? Waar businessman starts a project and people immediately ask questions. Behofit you maken, society conditions sus to share the fruits not effort. Buine peake comes from reversing this focus. Cause yourself, or did I give my best today? Did I put my head into what I was doing? If the answer is yes, then sleep carefully. Questions, because the fruit will come when is meant to, in the form it is meant to. Here is a thought experiment. Cast questions. Imagine a gardener planting flowers. Hey, what does stem dali give stem sunlight and remove weights? But when it rains heavily, some flowers bend, some petals fall. Does that mean his efforts were wasted? No. The beauty was anyway while it lasted. Questions. And the experiment reached him. Similarly, in life not all results will be perfect. But every effort sharp sus, sus. Questions. The fruit may or may not come in the way we expect. Questions. But the graft of the gardener, the graft of Uzul always remains. So, my dear friends, questions. Let us learn to separate the two effort and utkomme. Effort is uw dehammer, uw responsibility, uw present. Questions. Utkomme is the universe's dehammer, the future is mystery. When we confuse the two, we worry and suffer. But when we focus on uw effort, we live in clarity and peake. Remember this if it's largeri. You can't stretch the bow. I'm carefully release the arrow. Questions. But once the arrow flies, its flight is no longer in your control. The wind, the distance, and other factors will play their role. If you give your best shot, then whether the arrow hits the bullseye or not, you are at peake. But if you never give your best, because you'll always live in regret. Therefore, focus not to commas. That way, every day becomes meaningful. Questions. Every action becomes fulfilling, and every result, whether big or small, feels like a gift rather than a diamond. Questions. Most worries never come true, my dear friends. If we look back at our lives carefully, we will notice something very interesting. Questions. Almost everything we worried about in the past, those sleepless nights, those restless thoughts, sions, those endless gewaatige scanners most of time never really happened. Ist it true, sions, we buildstorms in urminst start never reinet in reality. We imagine disasters that never arrived at our doorstep. Questions. In those moments the feel so real as if tomorrow's nightmare was already happening today. Questions. This is the stronger power of worried Marcus suffer for events that never even occur. Sions. Synthesentiologists have done studies on this. They found that nearly 50% of the things people worry about never actually happen. And the 15% do happen. Are no as basques people imagined, and many as always more easily than expected. Sions. But the men does understand this log when it's in panic mode. The men believes it's of negative movie. And we sit in the theater or imagination, trembling at scanners that never get realized in reality. Questions. Think we shall before an exam. The shill thinks, but what if the paper is too difficult? What if he forget everything? Questions. What if he file and everyone mocks me the poor shills the night in tears, unable to rest, unable to focus. But the next day, questions. The exams out to be manageable. In fact, most was the questions are from the chapters he studied. The fair was unnecessary, but each stole his peake the night before. Has this happened to many of us in school or collega? O takke de exempel of helt questions, als onfels as light pine in the chest and immediately thinks, Bono, what if it's a head attack? Questions, what if something is seriously wrong? They can't sleep, they imagine the worst. Questions, they even start planning what will take a care of the family if something happens to them. The next day they visit the doctors, and the doctor's eyes, by its used acidity, avoid species for and rest. Ieder man lauks in relief, tions. Budlukar hoofdmoeg zoefering heven truc for nothing. Ante common situation is in the workplace. Questions ohne submits our project and 10 spends dice worrying. But what if my boss does like it? What if they critique me? Questions. What if they fear me for 2 dice? Tap person leave us in anxiety. Checking mails nervously. Jumping every time the phone rings. Finally, the boss calls and says, but good job, I like your effort. At that moment, the person smiles, but also realizes holisch it was to live in self-created misery. This shows us our pattern. Umint is an expert in exaggeration. It takes a small possibility and turns it into again mountain affair. It tells us questions might happen and we instantly believe it. But in reality, life rarely unfolds in such extreme ways. Most of the time, question first are false alarms. It's like carrying an umbrella every day because you think it will rain. Tions, but the sky stays clear most of the year. Carrying the umbrella wasn't wrong. Question in constant fear of rain makes life unnecessarily heavy. Similarly, taking small precautions in life is wise. Questions, but letting worry dominate our thoughts is like dragging a heavy umbrella on a sunny day. There is also a funny way to look at this. Question, so on one side, we have had many problems in my life, most of which never actually happened. Is that true? Questions, we have suffered more in imagination than in reality. The wounds of worry are often sharper than the wounds of life itself. Here is a story to illustrate. There was once a traveler who had to cross a forest at night. He was very scared because he had thought there were wild animals in the forest. As he walked, he saw shadows moving, strange noises, rustling leaves. He had beat fast his steps slowed, and he imagined a tiger ready to jump at him an ypsilon moment. So me of trembling, he reserved the water zide safely. The next morning, when he walked back through the summer forest in daylight, questions, he looked and realized the shadows were just bushes, the growls were only wind, and the tree was just his imagination. Questions, he looked at himself, but also learned an important lesson. Most of the fear was created in his mind, no pure reality. My dear friends, life will always have uncertainties. We don't know what tomorrow brings, but worrying about a very possibility does protect us. It only weakens us. Questions. Imagine you are asked to carry a zuikaze for a june. Instead de zuikaze are aljopa wat if se wat if I fail. Questions I lose wat if I fall sick wat if people react me. You drag this zuikaze over, but when you open it, you discover it was empty all along. That is what most worries are empty zuikazes of fear. No questions. Does this man botin will ever happen? No, of course not. Life has challenges, very own focus difficulties. But when problems rarely come, we usually find a way to deal with them. We reason, we adapt. Questions. We got a strength we didn't know we had. Haven't you noticed? The things you once fear rate exams, interviews, breakups, Falurus you hante them when they arrived. Maybe were tukig, maybe they hurt, but usually wait. Yet before they come, questions. The worry mother use for tweak once in imagination and once in reality. Would it be better to suffer only once? Questions. When it really happens ratan tweak, so the wisdom is simpler. Don't believe a very scary story your mind tells you. Most of those stories never come true. Instead, live in the present, do what you can today, and trust yourself to handle it tomorrow when it arrives. When we look back, we realize life was never as bad as min mare it them. Question this. Worry is like paying the ticket for a train that never arrives. So wie was du you payake? Leave it today with fight. Questions. And let tomorrow surprise you with heaps of gifts. Questions. Worry kills your story, my dear friends. Imagine this scene. You are sitting at a beautifully decorated dining table. On the platter in front of you is your favorite meal, fresh, warm, full of flour. But instead of enjoying it, you keep thinking. Questions. Tomorrow there is no fault. What if my salary gets delayed? What if something goes wrong in the future? Enough tell me, is the food at fault? No, the platter is filled but the heart is empty. Woo, because of worry has robbed the moment of its your questions. This is exactly what worry does. It steals today's happiness while operating to prepare us for tomorrow. Questions. Worry is like a teast even wide for the night. It boldly light walks into our ropes us of laughter. Payake. Questions and beauty that already exists. Think of a shield playing in the park. That shield is laughing, running, enjoying the swing. Questions. The shield is not thinking of what if tomorrow rains and he can't come here. So if the swing breaks tomorrow. That's we children smile so easily they live in the joy of today. But adults. Questions. We stare watching them and instead of smiling, mind says, questions. I have so many tasks tomorrow. What if something goes wrong at work? What if I don't zoek it in my plans the shield enjoys? Questions. Wie because worry has stolen your. Here is another example. Suppose you are on a family vacation. Questions. You are standing by the Bach. The waves are rolling in. The sunset is painting the sky with golden light. Everyone is in your light. Questions. Taking tourists laughing. But inside your head, you are thinking, but what if I don't have any money for next month's bills? What if something goes wrong when I return home? What if my boss is unhappy with me? The waves are real. The sunset is real. Questions. Laughter is real, but you don't experience an epsilon of it. The moment is alive, but you are absent. Questions. That is the power of worry. It doesn't let you be where you are. Terror is about evil sein. Questions. A worry never empties tomorrow of its sorrow, but it zuri empties today of its yo. Even if a problem does come tomorrow, questions prevent it. But what it certainly does is kill the beauty of today. Imagine paying for a 2-day trip but missing out on the first day because you were busy faring about the second day. Questions. That's exactly what worry makes us do with life. Let me share a small story. Once 2 monks were walking together. One of them was constantly worried, frowning, zicking, complaining. The other monk was careful, smiling at trace, enjoying the path. Finally the worried monk asked, how can you smile when life is so uncertain? Questions. What if something goes wrong tomorrow? The careful monk replied, if tomorrow's wrong, it will go wrong whether I worry or not. Questions today goes right. We should let my mind ruin it. We should give up the only day I actually have. This is wisdom. Tomorrow may or may not come the way we expect. But today is here right now, breathing, precarious. Questions. To waste it in worry is the greatest loss. Think about how much your way miss in daily life because of worry. Questions. You are having with your family, but instead of laughing at Schultz silly stories. Questions. Your mind is worrying about a meeting tomorrow. You are walking in the morning, surrounded by fresh air, but your head is buried in fears of future bills. You are celebrating a festival, but your heart is heavy with worries. Questions. If worry brings to the beauty that is already in front of us. Even in small things, this truth is visible. Our student finally finishes X and gets a holiday. Instead of enjoying the break, he worries about results. Our breed on heading day keeps worrying about what people think of hairdress instead of enjoying hair special day. A businessman achieves success in a project, but immediately worries about the next challenge instead of celebrating the victory. Questions. Worry is like a shadow that follows us, whispering, but don't enjoy this, something might go wrong tomorrow. And sadly, we listen. But my dear friends, jo is not fund in tomerovsguarante, is fund in todes gratitude. The secret to happiness is not in eliminating all problems, but in refusing to ruin the moments we do have. Life is short, and every day is our gift. Should we really hand over this gift to the thief called worry? Let's look at it another way. Questions. Imagine you are listening to your favorite song, but someone keeps pausing it every 10 seconds, saying questions. What if the next part of the song is good? You will get it right. That's what worry does with our lief's music. Questions. It keeps interrupting, stopping us from enjoying the melody of the present because is afraid the future of the questions. Here's a gentle reminder. When you love today, that laughter is real. When you love today, that love is real. Once. When you smile at someone today, that is real. But if you miss them because of worry, you lose moments you can never get back. Questions. Tomorrow might zo present you with challenges. But today is already zo present you with blessings. Don't miss them. Zo questions. Whenever worry must knocking us yourself, please eat what giving up today's year for our tomorrow ta hasn't arrived the answer. Always is no. Protect you your. Celebrate the small moments. Hook you love it honest fully. Taste you mails with attention. Was the sunset with gratitude. Because the life is happening here. Not in some distant, imaginary tomorrow. Questions. And worry may have the power to kill your today, but you have the power to cause a present over panic, gratitude over fear, conscience over doubt. Leave it today because today is the only day you truly own. Questions. Trust is the bigger plan, my dear friends. Life is like a gigantic puzzle. When we hold just on a piece in our hand, it was incomplete, confusing, even meaningless, but when all the pieces come together, a beautiful picture is revealed. Questions. The problem often judge life by the single piece we are holding today, and when it does make sense, we begin to worry. Questions. We forget there is a bigger plan unfolding, a design far beyond what our limited eyes can see. Think about it. Questions. Hoffman teams in your life has so meeting happened that felt like a setback in the moment. Jones. But later turning out to be a blessing discourse. Maybe you filed an exam only to realize it pushed you into a better field. Maybe you lost a job only to find a new opportunity that suited you better. Maybe a relationship ended. Question. But it lessons that shaped your character and prepared you for someone who truly valued you. In those moments of loss, you worry endlessly. But later when the bigger picture unfolded, you realized that everything was falling into place in its own way. There is a story of a farmer who had a horse. On a day, the horse ran away. The night boss came and said, "Oh, what bad luck!" The farmer simply replied to Maybe. 5 days later. Questions. The horse returned bring with his several wild horses. The night boss said, "Bewolf, what great look at the farmer again said." Maybe. Questions. Later the farmer's son tried to read one of the wild horses, but he fell and broke his leg. The night boss exclaimed, "Oh no." Questions. Such terrible one sagen said Maybe. Is soon after the lease came to reveal young men for because the farmer's son had a broken leg, he was spared. No of the night boss said. Questions. What great you have, the farmer smiled and said, Maybe. In the wisdom here is cleared, they only chapter at a time. Questions. But life is reading a whole book. Let's take an example from our daily life. Imagine you're stuck in traffic and feeling frustrated. Questions. You thought you'll be later, till your plans will be ruined. But what if, with your knowledge, Jones, that days await you from being in an accident footed on the road? So Metimus Jones, the universe protects in ways we cannot understand at the moment. Or can think of the teams when things didn't happen according to your teaming. You enter promotion immediately. But it came later. You wanted to get married before Kertainaga, but it happened 8 years afterward. And when it finally come, it madesens you vere more preparate, more mature, more ready. Questions. The daily that you once worried about was actually the universe's way of arranging things perfectly for you. Trusting the bigger plan dest mean we stop making efforts. It simply mean start after we were done or pad zinkerally, we zurende the rest to lieve, to God, to destiny wat we cause to call it. We na farmer plan zets questions, he doesn't spend the whole night worrying weiter the zoon will reise tomorrow. He trust the lager system in the same way. We must trust that the universe has carried us through a very difficulty so far, and it will carry us forward too. Quests owner of the rayons worry consumers us is because we think we are the only authors who leave us. But in reality we are co-authors. We read with actions, belief of read circumstances. And when we trust the co-author, the story bekoren is more about hiful tan by kuvet have imaginate alone. Think when airplane you when you board the planner. Questions. Do you run into the cockpit and say a pillow, late may flew, because I trust you? Of course not. You relax in your out. Watch a movie, you may all, and trust that the pillow knows what he is doing. If we can't trust a human pilot whom we have never even met, can we not trust the divine pilot who leave us, who has been guiding us silently since birth? My dear friends, life has already proven to you that it has as a plan. Questions. Tin the challenges you once thought you'd never overcome, yet here you are, standing strong. Think the nights you creaked. Questions. Think in the morning would never bring hope, yet here you are, smiling again. Questions. The same folket that carried you ten will carry you north and tomorrow. When we stop worrying and start trusting, questions urherd bekommen lighter. We realize we don't need to have all the answers. We don't need to control every outcome. Questions. We just need to walk with fight. Knowing even if the road twists and turns, it is still leading us somewhere meaningful. So, the next chance, you are tempted driven in worry as a one dreaming yourself. That this is only a part of the story, not the whole book. The bigger plan is still unfolding. And in that trust, you will find peace. Remember, the painter does reveal the wall painting with the first stroke. The musician does reveal the whole melody with the first note. Questions. And liefen reveal the whole plan with the first event. But we trust the process in time, the masterpiece will be realized. Questionate us live with fight, patience, and surrender. Because even we don't understand life's plan, we can't trust that there is honor. And that trust is far stronger than an epsilon worry.